Hey everybody, good afternoon. This is Trisha with Happy Home Designs. I am so excited to be coming to you this afternoon. It's Tuesday, it is November the 3rd, it is election day. So Mark and I went out this morning and did our duty and voted. So we had to take some time away from work and the business, but that's what we've been up to today. And I wanted to do a quick live this afternoon and show you guys a new kit that I got in. I think it's going to be super fun. I know I've been concentrating so much on Christmas lately. Hey, as you guys hop on, let me know that you're here. I see some viewers. Um, I've been concentrating a lot on Christmas, and I love Christmas, and I'm definitely ready. I'm sorry, I'm getting my phone ready here. I am definitely ready for the holiday, but today I thought I would do a project that will last from now all the way until the end of winter or the end of your snow season wherever you live, or until you get tired of thinking about the possibility of snow. So I guess that kind of depends on each individual person as to what you care for. But that's what I'm going to be doing today is a winter themed project. So I'm going to be making a garland. This one is different than what I've ever done before. This is a kit that I just got in from Chalk Couture. They're actually not even available right now because they stay sold out, but I happened to get this one from a sweet person in the Chalk Couture business that had an extra. So I'm going to show you what we're going to be working with. First of all, I am going to be using Chalk Couture stencil. Some of you may be familiar with this one that has the mittens on it. I'm not using all of this. I'm literally just going to be using the mittens. I am going to be using a banner. This is a brand new pack of banners. I have not even opened them yet. So this garland should be about 6 feet long when I get finished. So it can be for the fireplace or for the wall or your coffee bar or wherever you want to put that. Thank you for the exciting faces there. As you guys hop on, please tell me that you're here so I know who all's watching. So these are actually hard, they're almost like a plasticky feel banner, but they're about 7 inches tall, I believe, and 5 or maybe 8 inches tall, 5 inches wide. But the kit came with 7 of these, so I'll be using those. I'm going to be building this banner on jute. I'm also going to use, one of my favorites, wood beads. Hey Anna, good afternoon. I am going to decorate each one of these banners with a different Chalk Couture stencil. I'll fold this in half. I'm only using part of it. That looks like this. And as you can tell, it is shaped like a banner. It comes to a point in the bottom, and it fits perfectly on these actual pennants. So that's what I'm going to be using to decorate those. I'm also, like I said, I'm using the mittens, and I'm using these little burlap snowflakes. They're the Christmas shop, so they came from Hobby Lobby. I think it's a pack of 5, 4 of them, for $2.99, 50% off. So $1.50 for a pack of 4 of these. I'm only going to be using, I think, 3 of those, if I remember correctly. I'm also using some little cinnamon scented pine cones. It's just a little bag of pine cones. I think I got these at the Dollar Tree for $1. You think, what was Maddox? Oh, the wow faces. Hey Jessica, thank you for sprinkling. And also, as you sprinkle, let me know that you've done so. So for any future drawings, we'll be able to go back and see who all has sprinkled. So basically, that's it. I'm making a banner. It should be super quick. I've not done this before, but I'm excited to get started. Oh, I'm also going to be decorating with some snow-covered some kind of leaves, holly leaves. They're not holly. Anyway, they've got little berries in them, but they're really cute. I'm going to be using those for decoration too. But the reason I'm calling this just a winter theme is because it's snow and mittens. That's all winter long. And it's also going to be very muted colors. So it's not going to scream Christmas. It is just going to be very pleasant for the eye, but it's something that'll kind of blend in with your decor if you want it to, or you can spruce it up if you wanted to do that too, to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to open my transfers, or my silk screens, whatever you want to call them. But these are Chalk Couture. This is a brand new one. I did not bring anything to fuzz with. These are sticky back transfers or silk screens. The mittens you guys have seen me use, they've been well loved and washed already. And what that does is the more it's washed, it gets a little less sticky each time on the back. That shiny side is the back, and that is the stickiness of the transfer. But basically, you'd want it to be where it won't overstick to whatever you're going to be putting your chalk paste on, or whatever I'm going to be putting my chalk paste on. So I'm going to lay that one back down. This one I'm going to do on burlap. This one I'm going to use, like I said, just this portion. It actually has letters that would spell out Be Merry, but I'm not going to be using those today. I'm going to use just the design that will decorate, so I'll put those aside. Just this design that will decorate each one of my pennant banners. I think this is called a pennant. It's part of the banner. Anyway, this shape. Okay, I'm going to do that. Like I said, I'm also going to use some beads. I had a cup of water. Mark, if you're listening, I need a cup of water. I think I've got one poured on the sink. I just failed to bring it over. I will need that in a minute. I'm going to stain my beads to go on this too, so I'll be working on that whenever I get my water over here. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start getting ready doing my chalking. My background color is going to be gray. This is actually called Storm. I'm actually using chalk paste this time. I am not using chalk ink today, which is normally what I use, because I'm going to be layering and I want it to go kind of quick. And these are brand new paste, so I need to stir them up a little bit. I'm sorry to bother you. I got it ready. I was rushing around trying to get things ready. Maybe a little bit more water. I was rushing around trying to get things ready, and then it's always hard to make sure that I've got absolutely everything that I need. So this was a brand new paste, so I just stirred it up a little bit, get it to the right consistency. It should look like cake batter, which if you can see that, it looks like it's going to drip off any minute. So that's the right consistency. Set that aside. I'm going to go back to, Mark got me my cup of water and my fork. I'm going to start dyeing my beads. I want them to kind of look in that gray family. So I'm going to use some Apple Barrel. This is Pavement, is the color of this paint. I'm going to squirt a little bit of this in my water, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to stain my beads with an acrylic paint and water. So this is just water and very little bit of paint mixed up. The pennants, Jessica, are made of, honestly I can't tell you. I bought these through Chalk Couture. It was a kit. They kind of look like, they feel like a cardboard, but the top side or the front side is super slick. It feels like it's got a coating on it. They're very lightweight, so they're not wood. But when I get ready to make more of these banners, I won't actually have to order another kit from the company. We'll use these as a guide, and Mark will cut these out of wood for the next time, because we use some super lightweight wood that would work fine for this project as well. So anyway, these are ordered pennants, it's an ordered banner that I got through Chalk Couture. It's out of stock right now, but I just got this one from another designer. So back to my beads, I'm going to start staining them. They will never be as dark as this black. They're probably, and this is actually a dark charcoal color. They're going to come out a little bit lighter than that, which is what I want, because I want it to almost mimic the color of the gray paint that I'm going to be using. So remember, I am trying to go for very, very muted tones. Thank you, Anna, for sprinkling. Thank you for being here. So I've already figured out in my head, I've got 7 of the pennants or the banner, whatever you call this shape. So I'm going to need, I know how many of these beads I'm going to need for the pattern that I'm going to make. And I will need 16 fairly large ones. You just drop those in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 13. So I'll need 16 of that size, and then I'm going to need 8 smaller ones. Probably this small right here. You guys remember the wood beads? I order these from Amazon. You can get them in your Hobby Lobby. They don't usually come in huge quantities, but you can get them at Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Michael's. They're just a little bit more expensive, so I buy the less expensive ones in bulk on Amazon. 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of those. So that should be all the beads I need. I want to go ahead and get them started because I want them to soak in my solution. I just take my fork and spread them around. And if you can see, can you guys see the color of that? It's just going to take on a light gray color. So this is just a way to stain without actually getting my hands all messy. Put these away. So those will be soaking up the color as I work on the other parts of the garland. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to peel off my stencil or my transfer. This is the shape. It kind of looks like sweater. Can you guys see that design? Kind of reminds me of a sweater. And I'm going to fuzz it out. I don't usually ever bring a towel with me. But you basically just want to pick up lint and hair or whatever on the back of it to keep it from sticking to your surface so hard that you can't hardly get it off. So I just do it on my clothes. And then I'm going to line it up on my surface. It's got a point at the bottom. It should fit. And I can kind of see through it a little bit to see if I'm getting it on straight. I don't think I am. And see, it's actually sticking pretty hard. I'm going to get out my burlap. This is what I'm going to make my mittens out of, and I'm going to fuzz it on my burlap. Trying to pick up some extra fuzzy. I don't want this to stick so tight to my surface that when I go to peel it up, it doesn't want to come up. So I'll just lay it down and peel it up a couple of times, and that'll work. That way I'll lose some of that stickiness. And it's easier to maneuver it around and make sure you get it in position when it's not quite so sticky. Okay, once it's laid down, and I know you guys can't see this, I'm going to try to show you. If I flip it over to the back, I can tell that it's pretty much centered because I have about the same amount of extra green or extra manner on each side. So I think I've got it pretty centered on there. It's still really sticky. Get out all my air bubbles, wipe it down. You guys, these stencils are reusable. As you can see, I'm about to use this one multiple times. I'm going to do it as quick as I possibly can so it won't dry. Scrape that off. I use a squeegee and just get a bunch of paste on the end. You see that? And then I literally just start rubbing and cover the entire area. I'll hold this up when I get it done so you can see what I've got. But I'm using gray because I just want it to be very simple. I want this to be a design that if I put it out right now on my mantle, but we've still got fall decorations out, it wouldn't necessarily clash. Okay, just make sure I get it all covered, and then peel it off, and it's still sticking pretty tight. Not all of the stencils are quite this sticky. Can you see that? See the design coming off? Of course, I just stuck my finger in it. And it is really super sticky. So hopefully as I use this more and more, it won't stick quite as bad. But I'm telling you, when I do things live, I'm trying it. Hey, thank you for sprinkling, Anna, the other Anna. When I'm doing these live, I'm telling you, I'm doing them live, and it's, you know, if I make a mistake or I don't get it just right, you guys are going to see it. Let me get a wipe, because I ended up sticking my hand all over that. So there it is. There's the stencil. It's all wet. It's kind of curly cute a little bit right now because I had a hard time peeling it off. And the good thing about using paste is, so there's the design, If it makes a mess, which up here, can you see that little spot? I stuck my finger in the paste trying to peel it off. It'll wipe off. I'll show you. So now it's all clean and ready to go. These banners or pennants already have the little holes at the top to feed the jute through, but we'll be doing those in a minute. And this is chalk, so it dries pretty quick. So this will be dry in just a couple of minutes. But I've got 6 more of these to go. Make sure I'm using the right side. And because I'm doing this, I just need to make sure that I go ahead and do it before the paste starts drying on my stencil. If it does dry, I'll just need to wash it with wipes and then use it again. Make sure I've got it pretty centered. And actually I'm going to wipe off some of that, get it a little bit damp again. Get it stuck down. Good thing that we have baby wipes. Hey Doris. This has nothing, whose party did you add me to? I added you to Melissa Gibson's party, Doris. That's who you ordered from. I believe I saw that you ordered. Okay, let me get my paste on this one. And you guys, if this doesn't turn out, I'm going to wipe it off and do it again, because I am using this transfer without washing it good in between. And I see some places that have air bubbles, like it wasn't stuck down super good. So you're welcome. As you guys join, if you will, just send me a little message. Let me know that you're here. I like knowing who all's eyeballs are on me. Well, this stencil is really, really sticking. Okay, so there's my second one. It worked, but I'm going to go ahead and wash it in between this one because it was trying to bleed a little bit. Lay that one there to dry. Just going to lay it down on my mat and give it a bath. I don't always have to do this, but if I'm using the same stencil over and over again, sometimes I need to clean it up a little bit. And like I said, this one is super sticky. A lot of times they're not nearly this sticky, which I love them to be sticky because they adhere to my surface well, but sometimes they can adhere a little too well. So I'm just going to get all that extra paste off. Like I said, I am using chalk paste today. I'm not using chalk ink like I normally do. Clean my surface up. It does dry much faster than the ink, and because I'm doing a layered project, I wanted it to be able to dry. Get rid of these. When you do a live class, you never know what you might have to do. Hey, Cindy. Glad to see that you're here. Let me get this cleaned up. I didn't really think this would be this tedious, and I don't usually have that much trouble with the stencils really sticking too hard, but this one's giving me a run for my money. Okay, and of course, I normally would be fuzzing on my shirt anyway, and since I didn't bring a towel to dry it with, I'm going to lay it on my shirt. It's clean. I've already got the paste off of it, and then I can just dry the top layer. And then as it's sticking to me, it'll dry the back. Maybe I'll lay it on that paper towel too. That will work. Okay, let me do another one. Make sure I'm using the right side. I saw this idea of doing the winter themed garland, and I thought that is so good because you can just leave it up all year. You can have it out with your Christmas decorations, but you don't have to have it all just scream Christmas. Everything doesn't have to be red and green. Thank you for sprinkling, you guys. Okay. Hopefully I won't have to clean it but one or two more times. This is number 3. I'm doing 7 of these. There we go. So, did everybody have the day off work today? A lot of, or at least part of the day off so you could go vote if you haven't already early voted? I know most companies, I think every company, they have to let you go vote, but whether it's with pay or not, that's a different question or different story. There we go. That one turned out great. There it is. And as you can tell, that one peeled up a whole lot easier because I've used it several times now. Let me get it laid back down while it's good and wet. It's rolling up on me. Helps if I do it the right direction, not upside down. I don't think I have it good. I'm gonna clean that one off. Let me try this again. I'm gonna lay this one to the side to dry. Try it again. So Doris, you're off today because you are a school teacher and schools are closed on election day, right? Okay, I'm going to pick it up, look at the back. That way I know if I think I got it centered enough. I think I do. Let me get my paste and go at it again. There we go. Thought I had some air bubbles in there. So after I get this done, I will go ahead and take my beads out of the stain that I've got mixed up and let them start to dry. And I just have to do this in just in steps. I missed 3 days of going live, and I feel like today that I'm really out of practice. Okay, so there is my 4th one. And I am going to take a minute and clean this transfer off again before I use it again. I've got 3 more to go, and it's rolling up on me because I've stretched it so many times. This is not a typical chalk couture transfer. It's been much more difficult to work with today. And usually I would take this to the sink and wash it up really good and get it to dry. I'm laughing at Anna's comment. Anna is my daughter-in-law, and she said, every day is a day off for me right now. You went early before Corey went to work and snuck in. Oh, that's good, Anna. Yeah, working second shift, he was able to go and vote before he went to work. Mark got to take time off to go and vote, which was wonderful. We had to take a baby with us, but that was no problem either. He was really good. The voting poll was super easy. We were in and out of there in probably less than 10 minutes for both of us to get signed in and vote and get back out to the car and, of course, make our picture, because you have to make a picture. Did you really vote if you didn't take a picture of yourself with your sticker on? That's the question of the day. Clean up my mat. I know you guys can probably see this doesn't look like it's coming up good. It's fine. It's chalk. It will come off. And turn it over to the back. Even if it dries and it sits here an hour, it will still wash up later. If I get it on my clothes, it'll wash out. It's not a big deal. Okay. I think I just keep making a bigger and bigger mess. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing with my paper towel. Where did I put my paper towel? I think this is a different one. I'm gonna dry the back of it off with the paper towel. Actually, I'll just do the front as well. Once I get through this, it'll be easy peasy. Or it should be. Okay, 3 more. Trying to get it on there straight. I didn't. Okay, here we go again. I think it's on there pretty straight. It's on there pretty tight. I don't always use Chalk Couture products when I'm doing crafting, but they do come in really handy. A lot of their designs are so cute. And when I saw this one, I wanted it right away, and then I didn't order in time, and then they were out of stock, and all of that. But thankfully, I got my hands on one, and now I can make a template and create my own from here on out. You're right, Anna. If you don't take a picture with your sticker, or if you do take a picture with your sticker, your vote counts twice. Even after as many times as I've used this and washed it, it is still really sticky. 2 more. I think I can get this one down without making a mess. Okay. Here we go. And then if I can get it peeled back up again without it rolling up. But I do also use, in the stencil family, I do also use some of the sticky back reusable stencils from Martha Stewart has a line. I usually can't find very many different designs in her line. Michael sells those. I don't know if any place else has them. But it's a Martha Stewart brand. And also, I can't think of the brand right now, but Hobby Lobby carries a very few reusable stencils, sticky back stencils in their craft department. But it's very, very few. Every time I go in there, I look to see if they've got something new in that I want, and usually it's the ones I've already purchased. Okay, so there's that one. You guys see how easy? There are a couple of boo-boos on this one. I touched it. I'm going to wipe them up. Super cute. Has that sweater design. I think I saw a mistake on one of the other ones. Maybe this one on the edge. But it's chalk. It comes off. Okay, one more to go, and then I'll move on to making my mittens and putting the design on. If you notice in this design, there is a circle cut out in the middle. That circle is where I'm supposed to put those letters where it says Be Merry. You put a B and then an E and then an M and so on. I'm just not using that portion of the stencil today. I'm doing something a little different. But I am going to fill up that circle. So you will see how it all comes together. Remember, we're supposed to be thinking cold, snow, snowy weather, all that good stuff. Can't tell if I got that one down centered or not. It looks like it may not be exactly pretty good. It may be a little bit off. and I may have a hard time getting the paste through because I have let it dry a little bit, my stencil. I really thought this was going to be one of those really super quick projects, but it's taken a few minutes. Oh, so today is another, it's very important to me in another way. It's a markdown day, or countdown day. 3 weeks from today, we close on our new house. Yay! Okay, and then there's the last one. It's got a couple of smears. So I'll have to take this to the sink and wash it really good afterwards. It's curling up because I had pulled it and pulled it. They don't all do this, but this one just had a lot of stick to it. Let me find the backer for it. One good thing about chalk, about using chalk paste is, I dropped it in the floor. Even if I leave that on there for an hour, I can go back and wash it. I try not to let it sit too long, but it'll wash off. So I can get it cleaned up. Let me get my hands taken care of. Make sure my mat's clean. Get some of that paint off. I just don't want it to be on my burlap here in a minute. Okay, so I've got 7 of these pennants. I made a little mess where I touched it. I'm just clean it up. Once this actually dries, once it dries really good, you can still scrub it off, but it'll be pretty stuck. Hey, Mom. Yes, I know it's a beautiful sunshiny day. It is hard to think about snow, but I'm trying. Okay, so before I move on to my decorations for these pennants, I am going to go ahead and take out my beads. They're just a faint gray color, which is going to match that background. Stirring them around really good. Let me grab my paper towels. I'm just going to take them out, set them on paper towels. I'm just using a plastic fork. Separate them out, let them dry a little bit. What is neat about these beads when you stain them with paint is right around the middle of the bead, not the top hole and the bottom hole, but the circumference of the bead actually has a faint tan line. It's like it will never completely stain there. I really don't know why. They kind of make me think of planets. They're super cute. It makes them look a little rustic, not quite so perfect. Which is what home decor is. It's usually not quite so perfect. Hey, Jessica, I thought I saw you or somebody posted a picture about snow the other day. I thought, well, it's really early, but was it, yeah, Sunday was November 1st. That's when you're talking about. Somebody had posted a picture. Was that you? I can't remember. Okay, I think I got them all out of there. Now I can save this and use it later. I can put, just cap it off with saran wrap or whatever and use it later if I don't want to waste that paint. Of course, you're talking about a 50-cent tube of paint, and I probably used, 3 cents worth of it in that water right there. Okay, so here are my beads. They're all spread out on that napkin. I'm going to hold one up so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to touch it at the top, the North Pole and the South Pole. Got my fingers over the actual holes, and then it has this cool little stripe around the middle. It just never quite takes the stain in the middle for some reason. All right, I'm going to move these to the side, and I'm going to grab my burlap, and I'm going to work on my mittens. So this is what I have, I did these a couple of weeks ago. I need 5, let's see. Trying to think of how many of these I need. I need 4. I need 4 mittens, so I'll do 2 each direction. And I'm just going to chalk them one at a time on my burlap. I'm going to double this, but I'm going to double the burlap, but I'm not going to stuff it with the cotton like I've done in the past. Your mom posted it. I knew I'd seen, Jessica, that somebody was talking about snow in your area. Okay, I'm going to drop these over here. Let me close up my gray paste. And for the design on my mittens, I'm just going to use white. Remember, I'm trying to keep this super light, super muted colors. Get that out of the way. And I just want it to look wintry. I don't want it to scream Christmas. I just want it to scream subtle. Scream subtle. That's an oxymoron, isn't it? Okay, I'm just mixing up my paste. I just got these in the mail, so I have not used out of them yet, and they sometimes start out a little bit thick. Get my squeegee. This is bright white, so my gloves are going to be tan with the bright white design. My throat is itching, tickling. And you see that? What's in the way here? So I'm doing just the mitten part. This is, again, I'm using the paste, not ink today. I am doing it on a fabric, but it does not matter because I'm never going to wash this fabric in a machine. It doesn't matter if it's washable or not. I'm just trying to make sure every single groove has got paste through it. Okay, take off the extra. I'm going to lift this one up really quick so you guys can see that mitten. You see that? And while it's good and wet, I'm going to drop it down here and just do another one using that same mitten. And then I'm going to use the other one twice. Because I want to do this before that paste starts to dry. Because normally I would be washing my transfer in between each layer, but I don't have time. Okay, get it good and covered. I'm going to lift it and kind of peep under to make sure I didn't miss any spots. Super cute. So here's what I have. I've got 2 mittens on my burlap. And of course I've got ink now on, or paste on my surface. That's the good thing about using a work mat. And then I'm going to lay it back down. I'm going to move it over just a little and use the second mitten there. Make 2 of those. This is going much quicker than actually making the designs, right? This is an older transfer. I've already used it, but like I said earlier, that first transfer, that first stencil was so sticky. And it made it hard to deal with. But, you know, sometimes you have to deal with the problem ones to enjoy a beautiful outcome. Hey, Leah. Thank you for joining. Thought today was, or were you off for election? Well, you shouldn't. I don't know. Are you off for the election, or I thought today was one of your work days? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the second one. I thought for a second I was doing the wrong one. Not that it matters, they could all be the exact same glove, but I wanted 2 go in one direction. 2 right-handed, 2 left-handed, I guess, since I'm using 4. Okay. make sure it came through. Okay, very cute. Now I am done with my paste. I'm done chalking. Lost my surface. Stick that back there. Lay it over there to wash. Now these will dry super fast. I know, Leah, as soon as I said, did you get off work? I thought, no, nurses and doctors don't get to take off because it's election day. I knew it was crazy as soon as I said it. But you're home early in the day, that's a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna raise this up, I'm gonna lay it over here and let it dry. And wipe up my surface again. I bought parchment paper to have. I really should have used it today, but it's left over there by the sink, exactly where I left my cup of water earlier. But I don't have to have it now. Okay, but you guys have to look at my big pile of mess here. I'm actually going to move it out of my way and put it down on top of my wash pile. Okay, so I've got my mittens. There's 4 of them. I'm going to cut these out. And I am going to double them just to make them have a little oomph to them, I guess. I'm just going to leave an edge around. A little edge. I don't want it to be a lot. I want it to be the exact shape of the mitten. But I don't want to take a chance on cutting off any of my design. So Leah was actually the winner of the mitten project that I did the last time I used these. Oh, technically you're still at work. We won't tell anybody, Leah. Okay, so here's one. Almost got it cut out. It's not quite dry yet, so I'm trying not to smear my paste. I put the paste on super thick to make sure that it went into the grooves of the burlap. Trim it up a little bit. Okay, so there's my first mitten. You see him? Evidently, I waste a lot of fabric when I do a project with fabric. And I might decide to not. No, I think I still will double these up. I don't want the edges of my burlap to fray. This project gets put up from one year to the next in storage or whatever. I want it to stay looking as nice as it possibly can. Okay, it's hard to talk while I'm trying to be cutting intricate. Leah said she's not caring for patients right now, so we don't have to worry about her watching a live instead of taking care of a patient. You're a good nurse. I'm also not taking care of a baby right now. He's asleep. We cannot put off our duties just to watch a live or to participate in a live. Okay, so let me tell you what I'm going to do. After I get these doubled, every other one of my pennants is going to have a mitten and every other one is going to have a snowflake. Thankfully, the snowflakes are those burlap snowflakes I've already purchased, and we're going to be using those just like they are. So they won't take any extra time other than gluing them on, and they're already thicker because I want this to have a 3D effect. I want it to look kind of bulky, and they're already thicker anyway. So that's these that we'll be using, and then we're going to glue them onto the pennants. Get all of those ready, and then I'm going to string it all together. We're going to decorate each one of our gloves and snowflakes with a little bit of greenery and maybe a tiny bow. You guys know if I do something, it usually is going to have a bow or greenery and or flowers somewhere on the project. Okay. That's just the way I roll. That's just the way I like things with a bow. See, I wasted too much. Okay, let me do my second layer for each one. And what this will do is to help me cut it and make sure that it's not going to fray out around the edges. So I'm going to do this a little bit different than I did last time. I'm going to put my glue on the back of my mitten around the edges. I'm going to lay it on my new piece of burlap, and then I will cut it out so I can cut off some of that glue, any glue that seeps out. Okay, you guys, change of plans. When working with a hot glue gun, you have to remember to turn it on. So I'm not going to be gluing anything right now because my hot glue gun is not hot, it's cold. So I'm going to move on and go ahead and start getting my beads and pennants ready. I'm going to have to improvise a little bit. I will come back to this portion in just a minute, but I'll go ahead and have my pieces of burlap ready. Sorry about that. I mean, when I'm doing it live, it is live. So I am going to be using jute, and I'm going to string up my pennants with jute. And I'm also going to be using jute for the beads. And actually, I can't do this until I have the hot glue gun ready too. I'm kind of stuck until I get hot glue because my jute is thick. It is not going to go through these beads without me coercing it, I don't think. Well, maybe it will. We'll see. I probably am going to need to coerce it with some hot glue. I might be able to start one end, and then when I get tired of it, maybe the glue will be ready. Sorry about that. So my pattern is going to be a big bead, a small bead, a big bead, and then a pennant, or whatever we're calling these. What are we calling these, you guys? A pennant usually is the pointy, well, maybe this is a pennant. It's a banner. I'm making a garland banner. Yeah, I'm going to have the hot glue. I think this is going to be too difficult. So there's number 2. Maybe it won't take too long for it to get hot. I've been sitting here for an hour with the glue gun beside me and did not make sure that it was turned on. You guys need to give me some laughy faces. Okay, so this is going to be the very end. I'm going to go ahead and make a loop at the end, and this will be to hang the banner with. I tied a knot, come back, tie another one. And that will give me my loop to hang it on a command hook or whatever it is that I'm going to hang this with. Pulled through there. There are some days when it seems like nothing goes right. You guys, I'm going to ask you to sprinkle, even though it may not be. This may not be the best video to sprinkle on. Okay, so I've got my loop at the end. I've got my first 3 beads. I'm going to go ahead and pull off a lot of my length. I'd rather have too much than not enough. Let me see how much I've got. That should work. And then I'm going to start getting my banners on here. So I'm going to feed it through. I need the glue to get hot. Hey Diane, we are making relatable. Thank you, Jessica, for the hashtag relatable. We are making a pennant banner garland today. We are using 7 of these chalk couture pennants. I've already put paste on them and started decorating them. This is going to be a winter garland. It could be used from now all the way through wintertime. It's very muted colors. Get this pulled through. Very muted colors, so it will be good for all year long, all season long. And the chalk is dry now, you guys. So if I touch it, it's not that big a deal. Okay, so there's the first one. This is how it's going to go. And then I've got to feed my beads through. Let me see if this is hot enough to get any glue. Yes. It just always makes the ends of your jute so much easier if you put a little bit of hot glue on there. I'm trying to wait for it to cool a little bit before I touch it, and then I just take it and twist it and make my jute make a point, and it just makes it so much easier to work with. Okay, so then I'm going to do my bead sequence again. Look how much faster that fed through. I do a big bead and then a baby bead and then another big one, and I'm going to slide them all the way down. Slide them all the way down to that pennant. Just like that. Okay, so that's the first one. First one is complete. First one is complete. All right, let me get number 2. Reach up here and grab them. It goes through the front. You see all that dust flying everywhere, you guys? Jute is dusty. And then up through the back. Yes, Diane, that's why I wanted to do the neutral. I started to do red mittens, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do red mittens. The mittens are going to be white and burlap, because I want to make sure that this is a garland that we can use all year. This is something, or all, you know, cool season, winter season, fall, winter. Of course, I have to get a bead that's got a very tiny hole, and I need it. Because I did not do extra, I didn't color extra beads. I counted out what I needed. So the color scheme basically is burlap, white, gray, a little bit of greenery, which is a very pale green with snow on it, and my ribbon is actually a white with a gray stripe. So that's my color scheme. Got burlap in my mouth now. Sometimes you just have to use your mouth. So who has been in the grocery store since COVID and you've had your face mask on and you're in the produce department, you get out one of those bags and you know you cannot get those produce bags open. And you've got this mask on and everybody's scared to death that you're going to make them sick or whatever, and you so want to lick your finger so you can open that bag. Who has that happened to besides me? Because I've done it more than one time. But I did hear of a trick, and that is that when you need your fingers wet so you can peel those bags apart, you walk over to the lettuce or the cabbage or the green onions or whatever it is in Kroger or Walmart or Publix or whatever grocery store you're in, and you touch the wet produce. You know how they have the little misters going. You touch the wet produce so you can open your bags, and then you don't have to lick your fingers. But I've still been known to raise my mask up and lick my fingers, because those misters are not on all the time. Those little beads are giving me a hard time. Everything's giving me a hard time today. Okay. So I'm doing this not in the order I had intended. Let me show you what I've got so far. Because I was crazy and didn't have my hot glue gun on when I needed it on. Sometimes that happens. Baby wipes, yes. Leah said it happened to her last week. We're all guilty of being caught in that situation. But Leah has a baby, and more than likely, if she had him with her, then she had wipes. So she could rectify that situation on her own. But I did not have baby wipes with me. I always have baby wipes in the car, but I don't think to have them in my purse. I guess during all the COVID stuff, I guess I should have. Oh, Bible pages on, yes. Yes, I have wanted to lick my fingers for my Bible pages too. You know, that paper is so super thin. And it is so hard to get them apart sometimes. I'm going to cut this off and re-glue it. After I've used it for a minute, it kind of starts getting thick. You guys, don't forget, as you're hopping on, I see different eyeballs coming and going. Send me a message. Let me know that you're here. Don't forget to sprinkle. I know, Anna. Anna does Kroger Click List. I don't have the patience, I think, to sit down and think about everything I need. I'm one of those impulse buyers. So I want to go up and down the row, and I want to decide what I'm going to fix, you know, whatever. And Click List requires you to think ahead of time. But Anna is a Click List person. Of course, when you have 2 children under 2 years old, you become a Click List person really quick. Isn't that right? Especially if you're doing that shopping on your own. Okay, just feeding these through. I'm moving along now, you guys. Thank you for being patient and hanging out with me. If you have to go, I understand. You can always watch the replay. You can invite your friends to watch the replay. I want to tell everybody too, Mark and I, we are so tickled at the growth on our page. And that is thanks to most of you. All the viewers and the ones that view later. We have lots of views on our videos. But we're growing the page. Our following has grown exponentially since we started the contest. The contest is for inviting your people to follow the page. I'm calling them the people, your tribe, your people that you know, they're like you. They like crafty things. They like to be creative to some degree. Or sometimes it can just be somebody who enjoys watching videos just to get new ideas or just to relax. It is relaxing, I think, if you sit and watch somebody. Or maybe you want to watch because I sound like a country hillbilly with my southern accent and it's funny. Whatever the reason is, I appreciate it. But invite your friends, invite the people that you know would enjoy watching as well, or could learn some information or about their own crafting at home. Anyway, that's how we're growing this page, and that's what we want to do. Okay, as I get these on, I'm trying to make sure that I'm not pulling it too tight. This is my last pennant. And then we're going to decorate them. This is going to be super cute. I'm actually thinking, I didn't bring dark wax down, but waxing the edges of these pennants with a little dark wax would kind of give them a distressed look. That would be super cute too. Jessica said, Southern Belle, not hillbilly. Thank you. I'll take that. You know, I was not raised in Tennessee as a young child. And I remember when we first moved here, I was in middle school. going into middle school. And I didn't have an accent. I'm sure I didn't, because everybody knew I wasn't from here. Okay, so here's what I've got. I've got 7 of these. Cute. And now I'm going to work upside down. I'll go back and add my loop on this end later. I'm not going to take up your time doing that. But anyway, not being from Tennessee, I don't believe I had an accent as a child. But you develop it. You just do. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my mittens. They're actually dry now. I'm going to take the hot glue that's actually hot and just glue on the back around the edges, trying not to burn my hands. I'm not going to stuff these, but what this is going to do is I'm going to lay it on another piece of burlap, flip it upside down, just lay it on there, glue it down, and then I'm going to go back and cut it out again, and that will let me cut through some of that glue and keep the edges from fraying. And to give it a more three-dimensional look, I'm just going around the edges with the hot glue. I can't believe I came to the table to do a project and forgot to turn on my glue gun. But that's okay, we fixed it now. And it actually did give my mittens enough time to dry. Just hoping I get finished with my project before the baby wakes up. He's been down for a good minute now, because he did errands with us this morning and went and voted too. Got his little sticker. Okay, this is my last mitten. They're going to be so cute. Wait till I decorate them too. So they're glued on to just a flat piece of burlap. I'm going to go through and cut it out again. But this time it's a little faster because I know exactly where I'm cutting. I just thought it needed to be bulked up just a little bit. Because when it's hanging on the banner, I want to make sure that this looks like it's actually an addition to the banner and not just painted on. Okay, so there's one. And I'm going to start with, I'm going to do mitten, snow, mitten, snow, mitten, snow, mitten. So he is going to go right in the middle of my circle. You see that? I'm not going to do them all laying the same direction or anything. I'm going to go ahead and glue this, and then I'll cut and glue. I'm just going to be using hot glue because I don't intend on this being outside in the elements at all. So that one goes there. Let me open up my snowflakes. Remember, these were the snowflakes from Hobby Lobby. They are already burlap. I'm not going to use, they actually come with the little hanging twine on them. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to pull it off. And then the next one is going to have the snowflake right in the middle, like this. And then I'm going to go back and decorate these a little bit. I'm going to add some greenery and a little bitty bow. This is going to be so cute. So cute. My snowflake goes right in the middle. So there's our first two without any decorations. I will show it to you a little bit closer up in a minute. I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm reading Jessica's comment. Jessica said, I learned to talk with a drawl in Houston, Texas, but we moved back to the north when you were about to turn 4. So you lost it. Added a Pittsburgh influence. Texas, Pittsburgh. That's a little different combination. For sure. When Mark and I got married, when we were dating, and still now, we sometimes, at least one of my children, I won't name any names, makes fun of him a little bit for the way he says some of his words, because he's from the north. Below the Mason-Dixon line, they say it's the South. They're not Yankees, but they're not from the South, like Tennessee, Georgia. But one of his words is when he says the word color, like what color is your shirt? It sounds like, or it used to more than it does now. It would sound like he's saying collar, like the collar on your shirt. So he has been teased a time or two for that. But I don't think he sounds a lot different than me. I don't think that he sounds like a northerner. I just think some of the words he uses are different. And some of the slang terminology is a little bit different. Okay, so the next one's a snowflake again. Got little. Alright, so here's what we have so far. That's the first four. So we got mitten, snowflake, mitten. Remember, we're going to go back and decorate them. Boy, it's so much easier to cut this out after it's been glued and it's stiffer, and I know exactly where I need to cut. There we go. But I think I'm definitely a southerner now. Definitely. Next we've got a mitten. I'm going to turn him this way. And I'm doing this upside down. To me, that had a lot of glue. And another snowflake. So the difficult part of this was really working with that first transfer. Move it down. But this is going pretty quick. I'm getting lots of glue strings though. Okay, one more mitt. Yep, this is the last one. Yay! Using my scissors. And then we're going to decorate them, and then I will hold it up and you guys can tell me what you think. Also, I want to remind everybody that if you want to get a notification for lives, to go to any post and click on the three little dots at the top of that post on the Happy Home page. Click on the three little dots and click on turn on notifications so that you actually get notified when something's going on. I hope I do not run out of glue. Okay. Alright, so I've got all 7 of them done. You guys see that? But now I'm going to decorate them really quick. This won't take very long. I'm decorating them with a little piece of the greenery. This is snow greenery. And then I'm also going to use a pine cone. And these are cinnamon scented. You guys, you know, what a better way to make your house smell good than using scented pine cones. It's going to smell so good. And then also I'm going to put a little bit of this ribbon. Make a little, not really even a bow. My nose is itching because of all this burlap. So I'm going to tear off, I don't need a big piece. I really just need a little sprig or 2 on each one. Trying to see how I want to, these are actually kind of big. I may just cut little leaves off and just glue the leaves with a pine cone in the middle because these are a little bigger than what I thought. I think that's going to work. Let's see. So on the mittens, I was thinking, I'm going to start on the very first one. Thinking down here at the bottom, I'm just going to put some greenery. I know you can't see that good. And a pine cone. And this bag of pine cones has got some teeny tiny little baby ones. Well, these are kind of small ones, but then they also have the teeny tiny little bitty baby pine cones. Can you guys see that? I may use the medium size. May do some different sizes. But I'm going to glue a sprig of greenery onto my mitten. I'm going to glue two actually. If I can get it to stick. And then I'm going to take my ribbon, and I'm actually just going to tie a little knot. I'm not really going to make a bow. I'm going to tie a knot. And then cut off each end just so it looks like the bottom of a bow, like this. I'm going to put it right there at the base of that mitten too. Actually, there was enough glue there. Like that. I'm going to hold it up and show you in a minute. I'm going to add a tiny baby pine cone. I thought I was going to use that medium size, but I'm not. Just to make it have some definition and some color. How cute is that? So cute. Okay, and I think on the snowflake, I'm going to do the same thing. But I'm going to do it at the top instead of at the bottom. Let me cut some more of these leaves off. I want some bigger ones. Okay. I thought I might put some red, some of the berries on here, but I don't think I am. I'm going to do this one at the top. They don't all have to be identical, just similar. Make my little knot. West Virginia has its same sound, a different sound. Yeah, I think we just get used to each other. And after a while, especially when you're married, it doesn't really matter anymore. But sometimes I'll say something and I'll think, boy, did Mark just think I sounded like a country hick? I don't think he would ever tell me that, but he might think that I do sometimes. Okay, so I've added a little pine cone to that one. I left my ribbon a little bit longer than what I wanted. Let me cut it off. This is going to be so cute. I didn't have it just the way I wanted it, so I'm just going to twist it until I get it there. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my mitten. Lay down my leaves. And you know, of course, these are snow-covered leaves. So that makes it okay because we have a snow, winter, cold theme going on here. Up. Put my bow on. It's not really a bow. And get me a tiny little pine cone. These pine cones smell so good. That's got a little tail on them. We'll cut it off. You guys, I got these snips from Amazon. They're Fisker brand. They are amazing. They cut through everything so easily. That way I can use them and not have to fuss and fight with my needle nose pliers when I'm cutting, especially cutting greenery. Okay, I'm going to do on the snowflake on this time. I'm just going to do it a little bit of a different position, putting two leaves on just to give it some color. Go ahead and get my glue on for my little bow. Don't forget, anybody who's watching, if you haven't already got your entry in for the giveaway, the Christmas goodie box giveaway, it is not too late. We have not given that away yet, but it will be, the drawing will be before Thanksgiving, because it is Christmas decorations, Christmas decor items, and I want to make sure that the winner will actually have that to decorate. Most people start decorating for the holidays, Thanksgiving weekend. So that is the goal. Okay, I've got 4 of them done. I'm letting these dry, so I'm just moving it down. I will hold it up and show it to you guys in a minute, okay? So I've only got 3 more to go. Back over to this side of the glove. Usually I have a harder time doing my decorations than any of my painting, but today that has not been the case. The decorations are going on quick, but that painting took a minute. Of course, I was making mistakes like crazy. I'm just tying a knot. Get my snips. Get me a tiny pine cone. I think there's enough glue on there already for it to stick to it. So cute. Okay, moving on down. Hold on, I've got 2 more to go. I'll show you what I've got so far. Can you guys see those? I'll hold it up. I'll get all my mess out of the way in just a minute, I promise. I want you to be able to see exactly what we've got. So there's 2 leaves. I'm going to need 4 more leaves. I'm not doing these exactly the same on each one, just similar. Not the exact same placement either. Just similar. Well, there we go. I work so messy, y'all, I can't help it. That I lay things down that I can't find where I put it. And it's not just for the camera that I'm messy. I'm pretty much messy when I work all the time. But I don't mind cleaning it up later. Let me hold that one in place for a second. Got lots of glue. One more. We're on the last one. Get my leaf stuck down. My last leaf. I know when I'm working on such a big project, it's really hard for you guys to see. Sorry, I've got to figure out a better way. We're actually working on a camera setup where you'll be able to see overhead. So the camera will shoot down on the project. That will be a setup when we get into our new house that we close on in 3 weeks. So excited. But that will be a setup that we have at that time, but just right now I'm making do with the space that we've got and the situation that we've got. And I'm so thankful for children letting us stay at their home while we were waiting on ours. Okay, I need to hold this little guy in place for just a second, and then I'm going to raise it up and let you guys see. Let me get some of my mess out of the way so you can see what I've got. Get my pine cones cleaned up. One thing about hanging this garland is the house will definitely smell good. Get all my different scissors. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready? This is the reveal. Here we go. Here's the garland. So we have you might see some glue. I see a bunch of glue hanging off of these. Hot glue makes strings like crazy, and you have to go back and clean them up. and then of course it sticks to my hands. So here we have mitten, snowflake, mitten, snowflake, mitten, snowflake, and the last mitten. So what do you think? Tell me, give me opinions. This is the Garland. I told you it was 6 feet long. It's really not. I can make it longer by adding more beads in between. But is that cute? Do you like the winter theme? Now I'm trying to get it up there where you can see the glove a little bit better. You're probably seeing some of the white glue hanging down. But that is today's project. It turned out super cute. It's not perfect. There are what I would call some blemishes in my paint, but that's okay. It gives it character, and I enjoyed making it. I would have really enjoyed it had I not forgot to turn on my glue. Let me snip this up. Jessica said it's cute. Anna, you like it? It would be really cute on, Anna's got her fireplace is shiplap, and then the big bulky wood block mantle. This would be super cute on that. Thanks, Mom. Mom likes it too. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's live and enjoyed this project. And the next time I make it, I probably won't use these same pennants. I'll actually make it out of wood that we'll cut. But I wanted to have the kit so I could see how it would turn out today, and I really, really like it. I think it's cute. But that's today's live. Just remember to enter the contest if you haven't already done that. Invite your friends. Sprinkle the video. We want everybody to be able to watch. And don't forget, the drawing will be before Thanksgiving for that giveaway basket for the holiday items. And I will talk to you guys again probably tomorrow. I'll be doing another cute project tomorrow. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.